Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the daily message for March the 11th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is fluid. This reading could play out today or at any given point in time. This reading may or may not be for you, so please only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. Before I jump in with today's reading, I did want to kind of address some of the comments that I've noticed on some of the videos. I know I do mention at the beginning of every video, not every reading is going to be for you. I noticed a couple comments where people are saying, hey, I don't want my ex back. Great. Then that's probably not your reading if that's what came through. I am just a messenger. I channel the energies coming through the cards. I also wanted to mention in tarot, it really is not gender specific. Although sometimes I say a masculine, I could be talking about a female in the physical form. We all carry masculine and feminine energies from within us, depending on what energy you're sitting in. I know I can be more masculine at times than feminine or vice versa. So try not to read too much into it. If you are dissecting a reading that intensely, then it's probably not your reading. Flow through the reading. You know, some readings may only have one line that is going to resonate with you. The whole reading might resonate with you. And not every reading is going to be for you. So I did want to make that clear. I also wanted to mention, I will be taking a step back from personal readings until the end of April. I will not be booking anybody in until the beginning of May. I am in the process of going through for a couple of different healing practice certifications. So if you would like to book a reading, unfortunately, I'm not booking any clients until the beginning of May. So keep that in mind because people are already messaging and booking into May. So I just needed to mention that. I felt that needed to be mentioned. There was also a comment about, you know, saying how some of the different signs, the readings are very similar. The energy of the collective right now is huge when it comes to clearing third-party drama from the past. We are in this precipice of clearing all of these old karmic timelines. So although it may seem redundant, this is kind of where many of us are at. And if the reading does not resonate, then like I said, check your moon, your rising, and your Venus placements. Okay, let's jump in with the energies today. We have the moon in Cancer, guys. So with the moon in Cancer, Cancer is that mother energy. A lot of energies coming up when it comes to home, family, anything related to family structures, living in your home. The home is a big thing coming through in the energies. I also feel a lot of sentimental feelings are likely coming to the surface as the moon will be in Cancer for the next couple days. We do have the moon trine Mercury today. And what came through is this really is an opportunity for change. It's about seizing the day, taking action, and stepping into authentic self-expression and spiritual growth. And we do that by going deep into all of these emotional fluctuations and learning where to ground ourselves. We all have trauma from the past. None of us are immune to pain and trauma. And I feel this energy really is asking us all to learn how to forgive and forget when it comes to past energies. A lot of the collective are in this depression, dark night of the soul energy, and we spiral downwards in order to understand a lesson in its entirety. So, you know, you might want to create a certain distance right now when it comes to going within, when it comes to kind of dealing with your own emotional discomforts and fluctuations. Nobody is in charge of your journey but you. You know, we can bring forward messages as healers. There are many, many talented readers on YouTube. And like I said, we are the messengers. It is up to you to decipher and to decode the messages that are coming through and how that can apply to your own personal journey. We are all in charge of doing our own integration and our own healing journey. Nobody else has the answers for you. I say that time and time again. All of the answers that you are seeking truly do lie within. You can reach out for help. You can, you know, receive that guidance, but ultimately your own sense of belonging is your is yours and yours alone. Nobody is responsible for that but you. And with the moon in Cancer, I think it's really time for all of us to get in touch with our feelings more so than ever before, especially with the moon trine Mercury. When you go into those feelings with a rational mind, that is when you can find authentic ways to express yourself with whatever is going to come naturally for you. You know, I recommend all the time journaling, especially when it comes to dream energies. I'm not a dream decipherer, so, you know, I always journal about my dreams, and it might not make sense at the time, but, you know, usually you have that epiphany later on down the road, and that's why I always encourage journaling, so you can reference back when something finally clicks in the energy. So I think a lot of insight is really coming through that will be useful for your own journey as well as others. So, you know, we got to look at it this way. We're not the only ones suffering when we go into these issues that are needing to be addressed, these collective issues. Everybody suffers in their own form. And I think, you know, nobody's wrong, nobody's right. That's kind of the energy of duality. So in order to kind of come back into harmony, we have to have that deep connection with others. So if you're, you know, in a toxic relationship where there's really not that emotional connection, you really need to open up and listen to that inner gut instinct, because when you're not listening to that instinct, that's when you get led astray on the spiritual path. So I think get ready to kind of take a long, hard look in the mirror today when it comes to finding your perception of self, your perception of the world around you, and how you can actually enhance emotional connections with others. It's kind of this energy of get ready to receive clarity of mind. With the moon trine Mercury, it's offering us this opportunity to balance our feelings and our intuition with our rational thinking mind and our perception. So, you know, all signs are going to feel this shift, no matter if you have a moon in Cancer or a Mercury in Pisces. It really doesn't matter. It's kind of time for all of us as a collective to do that individual personal work, that inner work when it comes to owning your own emotions. Nobody is in charge of what triggers you. If something triggers you, then you need to go within and figure out what that trigger means, and then to utilize sound judgment to make a decision when it comes to what it means to your own personal journey. I think the energy really is allowing us to be able to read people a little bit better, to judge a situation in that energy of reality, because a lot of us are going to be very much in touch with our emotions and our intuition at this time. So I think get ready for a lot of sentimental emotions to come to the surface, especially when it comes to, you know, parental wounds, family wounds, and I think it's kind of time to understand where all of these negative effects have really hindered your empathic capabilities. Nobody is ever perfect, and you will never ever find that perfect companion. So, you know, it's about being willing to have that conversation, to be emotionally vulnerable. If you're not able to be present and emotionally vulnerable, then you can't expect that from others. I do feel there have been a lot of vivid and prophetic dreams coming through recently, and that is why I do always encourage you to journal about them. There's a lot of information coming through when it comes to putting your childhood traumas behind you. All of us have a childhood wound. Doesn't matter how wonderful your parents were, we all have a core childhood wound. And it is in that core wound that we really tap into the shadows, into the darkness, to restore our psychic abilities and our intuition. So get ready for intuition to feel increased, especially with Mercury in Pisces and the moon in Cancer over the next couple days. Stop hesitating. We already know the answers. Our gut instinct knows what it is that we need to do. And it is the egoic mind that spirals us into hesitation and doubt. So I think a lot of us are really figuring out what it is we need to release in our lives in order to get back to a sense of order. It is up to us to emotionally nourish ourselves. Nobody else is responsible for our emotions but us. So I think a lot of mental stimulation when it comes to exposure of stuff that has been hidden for a long time below the surface, likely some childhood wounds coming up to be addressed. And this is really giving us the ability to restore and establish our strong connection with our higher self, with our own imagination and our own intellectual reason. So it is about authentic self-expression, I feel. You know, we can never ever truly explain how the mind works or how intuition works. But it's about, you know, just trusting in these new ideas coming forward, because we are here to return to a state of structure and order in our everyday lives, all while embracing this spiritual journey. So let's jump in with some cards, guys, and see what kind of a message needs to come through today. Purge and cleanse. And that's kind of where I've been sitting at too for my own journey. What elements in your life are needing to be removed, purged and cleansed, that really have created blocks, you know, obstacles when it comes to forward movement, whether this is a behavior, a person, a job. It's kind of time to purge and cleanse things that really have been a distraction when it comes to your growth, when it comes to your expansion. We are all kind of being encouraged to pull back, to disconnect. A lot of people on the journey like to cord to us, especially those of us that are healers. And this can be such a distraction when we too, as readers and healers, are also on the same journey. We feel the same energies as everybody else, and we have to ground and heal those energies and rejuvenate ourselves too. So I think this huge disconnect, many of us, a lot of healers and readers are going into deep hermit mode coming up here, deep introspection, disconnecting in order for things to shift. So I think get ready to disconnect, and it is in that void energy that we can restore our connection to spirit. Nobody else can do that for you. So, you know, if you are to practice unconditional love, you have to give that unconditional love to yourself first and foremost, because I think we're all rediscovering who we are at the core, peeling back layers and layers of emotional hurt, emotional pain, to discover things we haven't originally known before in order to birth that new energy, in order to birth that new life. So let's see what needs to come through today. Karmic lessons, transformation, and that's coming through a lot lately. So yes, this is the collective energy coming through. We're closing out major karmic cycles that have repeated lifetime after lifetime, you know, generation after generation. So you have to kind of look at your own history, your own family lineage, to figure out what kind of karma keeps being, you know, addressed when it comes to your own family bloodline. So if we are to break the chains of repeating these negative karmic cycles, we have to go into that seed point wound. We have to go into all of this family energy of our home, our deep roots, and to work through all of these past painful experiences in order to learn the lesson and to turn that into growth and wisdom. So get ready to shed some external layers, some internal layers, in order to kind of get grounded in those healthy emotional relationships with others moving forward. So what is no longer serving your life? I think this is coming out strong because we are like inching towards a brand new astrological year. 2022 breaks down to 6, which is the Jesus code. It is a big year of healing and releasing. So what needs to fade away out of your life if you are to step into liberation and freedom? What's been restricting you, impeding you? What's been keeping you from getting some stuff done? Because it's kind of time to learn this karmic lesson, this incarnation. We're all here to resolve these past life experiences and to grow beyond these impediments if we are to truly step into freedom. And freedom is always a choice. So it's how badly do you want to do the inner work? Because I think we're all kind of being called to be present in our mind, in our body, in our soul, in order to understand what our spiritual involvement is with our greater purpose. Many of us have a greater purpose, far bigger than we could ever realize or imagine. We all have a vital role when it comes to this collective consciousness. We are all part of one great big universal consciousness, and we all have, a piece to the conscious puzzle that we're here to kind of release and learn about. So I think in order to really enhance your own personal psychic abilities, you really do have to go within. Somebody that's very much in tune with their higher self, they spend a lot of time alone. That is when you can master tuning into all of these senses beyond the five senses. A lot of us are very intuitive. So in order to continue to develop those abilities, you kind of do have to disconnect. You also have to stay in the present moment and get out of that mind space. So, a new life is right around the corner. We are on the precipice of birthing 5D Earth, living a life of compassion. But we're going to have to face these challenges in order to expand beyond this stuckness. So get ready for some big, big changes ahead, because our souls are evolving, and it's kind of time for us to really listen to the guidance that we've been receiving from Spirit. If you are not willing to go within and meditate and listen to the answers that you've been seeking, Spirit really can't do much for you. Spirit is always there, sending you the signs, the synchronicities, the prophetic messages. All you have to do is listen. Quiet the mind, listen, and pay attention. Change is constant. Change really is the only constant in this life, is change. So, don't get too attached to people, places, and things. When you kind of come into alignment and you are, honoring that connection with Spirit, your guides, the ancestors, and the archangels, there is nothing outside of you that will ever give you that sense of wholeness. So I think, balance up the chakras. I do suggest chakra balancing every single day that will allow you to maximize the energy flow with all of these intense activations and light codes that are saturating the planet right now for this great awakening. I think somebody's, getting ready for a storm to brew. It's really within the storms of life that we figure out our true strength. And I think light is about to be shed on something here, and maybe somebody is missing you. Maybe you're missing somebody, and it doesn't have to be a romantic person. There's somebody here that is grieving, is what I feel. And, in order for that fresh start, we have to release all of this underlying grief. And I feel this storm that's brewing really is this internal chaos and conflict that you've maybe not wanted to look at. So, it is through the storms and the chaos and the conflicts that we really do embrace this change. When things are going good and things are easy, we really don't evolve. We don't grow. So I kind of feel we're in this precipice of a lot of evolution for the collective, and we're really needing to consider all of these changes a gift, because, it is through the storms that we can restore that sense of intimacy with our own connection to God's source. So disconnect and relax. And that is exactly what I have been guided to do, is to disconnect. So another energy of moving. So, we're coming to the ending of all of these major karmic relationship cycles. So a lot of us stay stuck in these negative contracts. I've been there myself many times over, where, money's an issue. Well, maybe I can't leave this contract because, oh my God, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have any money. The universe always provides for you when you choose to follow that higher guidance. I do think somebody is moving. Maybe there's been a delay when it comes to movement because of some financial issues. If you've been struggling financially, I think that is about to improve. And there's that substance abuse coming through. So where are you playing into codependencies, alcohol, drug abuse, sex addictions, porn addictions, anything that is unhealthy that, distracts you from your connection to God's source? Because if you are to heal your heart, then you kind of got to embrace these changes. We can't keep looping around in these negative patterns. And let's face it, you know, there's addictive energies everywhere we turn. You know, we're bred in a world of codependency. So, you know, and any substance abuses really do disconnect you from being able to have that deep emotional connection with another, because you're masking pain. And, you know, I say it all the time, if you don't feel it, then you can't heal it. As uncomfortable as it is to feel all of this pain below the surface, that is the only way to heal your heart and to embrace these changes. So I think, you know, a new dawn is dawning, but you kind of have to stop masking the pain. And if you are dealing with substance abuse, then yeah, no doubt your money's probably suffering. So, you know, I think it's time to move beyond materialism, greed, addictive, codependent behaviors in order to be able to have those intimate emotional connections moving forward. There's definitely a past life connection here again coming up to be addressed. And we have many, many past life soulmates. Our parents are past life soulmates, our children. Doesn't have to be romantic, but as you kind of, you know, embrace these changes, every single relationship that you have begins to foster this intimacy. It is always up to you to decide what kind of emotional connection you want to establish with another. And we do that by healing our hearts. So I think get ready for a new life. A lot of us in the collective have been feeling all alone, feeling like maybe we've been punished. Somebody, I feel, has been in an unrequited love situation. Family issues are definitely coming up to be addressed. We are never ever punished by the universe. This is just the law of cause and effect. So maybe somebody is feeling wrongfully accused, or I feel like it's this energy of consequences coming back around. Maybe somebody's dealing with some public ridicule, some public exposure when it comes to this karmic imprisonment. And somebody here definitely has been feeling all alone. And, you know, this is where you learn to enjoy that solitary life. When you spend time by yourself alone, that is when you can truly understand who you are and go through this heart healing. So if you are in an unrequited love situation, if you're with somebody whose heart really isn't in it, then I think it's time to just go through that ending, let it die away, and feel the brokenness in order to free yourself from these addictive patterns. So let's see what else needs to come through. You know, happiness is always a choice. And, you know, although many of us go through that dark night of the soul, and there's really no avoiding the dark night of the soul when we're, you know, embracing this transformation. This is where we release all of these feelings of inadequacy, all these feelings of lack mentality, in order to transcend all of this negative wounding below the surface. We kind of have to understand these negative experiences and understand how these wounds have shaped us, what we have let define us and limit us, and how we can break free and move beyond that. Somebody here is definitely impaired, is kind of what I'm feeling. Somebody here definitely is struggling with some addictions, some physical addictions of some sort, which is, I feel, creating all kinds of illness and suffering. So somebody really needs to release this addictive behavior, because I kind of feel it's really made somebody feel very inadequate. I think somebody here is trying to release feelings of shame when it comes to some addictions. And I will be the first to admit, I too used to struggle with addictions in my 20s as well as in my 30s, to mask the pain of trauma. I was never ever actually addicted, but I was addicted to masking the pain, to not having to feel the pain. So, you know, it's so easy to play into addictions. Alcohol is, you know, legal, and you know, just because it's legal does not make it right. I do feel somebody's been over drinking and masking some pains, which really is a lesson that is needing to be understood when it comes to taking back your power. You know, if you are really going to attract what it is that you need and want and desire in your life, you're going to have to release this impairment. Where are you lacking that loyalty when it comes to your own journey? I think somebody here is, you know, feeling sorry for not honoring themselves. And, you know, where are you needing to release these negative external influences in order to remain loyal to your spiritual path? Because it's kind of time to make amends. And it's kind of like that 12-step program. When an alcoholic goes through the 12-step program, they're asked to make amends when it comes to everybody that they've hurt. And in order to really make peace with the past, we kind of have to feel it all and release it. So I think a lot of transcendence when it comes to these feelings of inadequacy, this lack mentality, making amends for the past when it comes to heart healing in order to fully embrace these changes. But let's jump in with some tarot and see what else needs to come through. The Hierophant. There's that higher connection. Where are you not honoring that higher connection with God's source? It is the highest authority, Taurus energy. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Doesn't have to be. But where have you not been following that higher guidance? Because that is where your victory lies, is in following that higher guidance. So somebody here is definitely getting a shift in perspective with the Hanged Man. You know, get ready to learn a lesson maybe you didn't want to learn. And I think it's kind of time to make amends for the past, to kind of balance the scales and to make things right once and for all, so we can go forward with these intimate connections. So I'm going to do things a little bit different today, guys. We're going to get the current energy of the collective. Oh my gosh. We get the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins with the Chariot reversed. I'm going to get the cards all out and then we're going to talk about it, guys. The Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of truth coming forward, a realization when it comes to some manipulation within a foundation that I feel was simply built on financial stability. There's definitely some manipulation here. Although the King and Queen of Coins are upright, we do have the Chariot reversed. So something is coming to a dead stop here within a foundation. I think there's been some confusion. We do have the 10 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Cups reversed, and the Devil. So yeah, get ready for a Tower. Where are you not valuing yourself? Somebody here is in a false connection. Although it looks stable and you might look good on the outside to the outside world, something's coming to an abrupt ending, a dead stop. Because, you know, it's kind of time to get rigorously honest with yourself about what is going on. There's some manipulation here. Somebody's in a foundation pretending to be stable, pretending like everything's okay. And like I said, looks good on the outside, but on the inside, everything's crumbling to the ground. There's codependencies here. There's addictions here. There's toxicity. There's materialism. There's greed. Somebody's dealing with a snake. And something is about to come crashing to the ground because you can't keep pretending you're satisfied when you're not. Money is not the end-all, be-all. And I think somebody, you know, is coming into a realization of just how toxic a situation is. Could be dealing with an Empress reversed, Page of Swords reversed, but definitely a foundation is in play today. And it's kind of time to put the past to bed. I feel somebody's dealing with a feminine who doesn't know her worth, doesn't know her value, you know, quite possibly has affairs. And I think there's going to be a message delivered that you don't want to hear because there really is no victory here. Somebody's at the crossroads. And I think it's kind of time to look at things at face value. Where have you not been wanting to look at the truth? So we do. We got this King and Queen of Coins, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This Queen looks like she's naked in her authenticity. I do feel like you both put a lot of time into a foundation. I think the roots run deep, but that's not a reason to stay somewhere where you don't feel like your heart is in it. So get ready for maybe even an accident, an emotional outburst, this is coming to a dead stop because there's been secrets here. If you look at that Ace of Swords, look at all of the karmic knotting, all of the karmic webbing. It's kind of time to untangle all of these karmic webbings, all of these lies, all of these knots. When it comes to some manipulation, I think somebody here is definitely hitting rock bottom. They're crying. They're asking themselves, how did it get this bad? How did things get so wrong? Somebody is dealing with, I think, a lot of regrets. Somebody's played into a foundation pretending to be happy for a very long time, likely under the veil of illusion. And illusions are being shattered because this is toxic as shit. When we get the Tower and the Devil, the universe is saying it's time to address these codependencies, whether it is alcohol, drugs, sex, materialism, greed, lustful temptations. It's kind of time to break those chains, to move beyond this karmic lesson. Because, you know, there's somebody here that's not being honest, not being truthful, with the Empress reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, in a foundation, you know, pretending everything's great, when in fact, you know, there's been a lot of betrayal, a lot of hurt, a lot of mental struggles. So, you know, why is there resistance to this ending? 10, 10, 10. Completion, completion, completion. It's time to close out this cycle of not knowing your worth, not knowing your value. The Empress upright knows her worth and knows her value and would not play into any of this energy at all. The Empress upright is a mother, a nurturer, a boss, and a leader. And in reverse, she does not take care of business the way she's supposed to. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. It doesn't have to be, but I think somebody's been living in denial. And maybe it's time to pick yourself up off the floor and to start from that ground zero, to release something, you know, that's filled with all kinds of secrets, all kinds of lies. I feel somebody here is drowning in a lot of truth where they've not wanted to look at this truth. We have the Two of Wands. So somebody is definitely at the crossroads. There's no victory here. There's no success with the Six of Wands and the Seven of Wands in reverse. It's time to just walk away. Release it. Somebody here with the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. I think two people that are very angry. Get ready for an emotional outburst, an argument of some sort, because this Queen of Swords is angry, bitter, and same with that King of Wands. There's no passion left here. There's lies, there's secrets, and it's kind of time to choose a new direction with the Two of Swords. Somebody's at the crossroads in an unrequited love situation that really is needing to die, to transform. It's kind of time to feel this pain. We cling to things because we don't want to feel the ending. Everything ends. Life is always changing. So there's definitely an ending here. The death, the finality of something that I feel has caused somebody a whole lot of pain. Somebody's been, you know, juggling back and forth, not wanting to choose a direction, you know, maybe hoping things would get better. I don't think things are getting better. I think something needs to come to a dead stop because you're not on the same page anymore with the Lovers reversed. It's kind of time to close out this karmic cycle, you know, to learn this lesson, to gather up all of your tools, to become the magician of your life, and to step into this healing in order to really go after wish fulfillment, to go after what it is that you deserve. Because it's kind of time, you know, somebody's not wanted to take action. It's time to climb the ladder of success, and wherever you've been at in this situation, there's no victory here. There's no success here. It's kind of time to go deep into some self-love and honor yourself, learn something new, allow the fates to spin you forward. Because I do think there's a lot of nostalgia coming up in the memory space when it comes to family structures, when it comes to family wounding. And it's kind of time to feel it and heal it once and for all. So it's about self-love. When you love and honor yourself first and foremost, that is when you can have victory in every area of your life. So, you know, you could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Gemini. You could be dealing with Earth sign, Capricorn, Mars energy with that Tower, Scorpio energy. We do have Taurus, Libra here. We also have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sag. Pretty much everybody here. Gemini, all of the fixed signs, water, Scorpio. You know, where have you resisted going into this pain? You know, accepting that something's dead and gone and over. Because I think it's kind of time, you know, to unblock what you've not wanted to look at. Take the blinders off. Take the blinders off. You know, there's nothing left here to celebrate. It's kind of time to let this die away. So let's look into this Ace of Swords. I think it's pretty straightforward to me. The High Priestess, the Four of Swords, and Justice. Yep, Eight of Wands reversed. Where are you needing to block somebody? Somebody's getting blocked. It's kind of time to stop communicating, and it's really time to do the work on self. It's time to know your worth, to know your value with the Nine of Coins, to block anybody in your way that has kept you stuck, that has kept you stagnant. It's really time to go within because you already know the answers. You know the truth. Where have you not wanted to face that truth? It's time to heal this heartbreak. It's time to heal this at the core seed point in order to bring yourself back into a state of justice and balance. So a lot of revelations when it comes to family knotting, when it comes to family lineage karma, and it's kind of time to balance this all out this life. You know, to release, you know, any feelings of inadequacy, missed opportunity, in order to, you know, step into a brand new experience within the community. It's time to put the past to bed when it comes to any extended grieving. Any internal struggles is kind of what I'm feeling. So get ready for unavoidable change, the one constant in this life, in order to transform all of these negative circumstances. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit. Beware of people and circumstances in your way that are serving as a test of your will. If that isn't more clear, I don't know what is. We are all kind of being spiritually tested right now. So you are encouraged to remain in high vibration, shine that light brightly, and stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Go inside. Trust that High Priestess intuition. You already know the truth. You already know the answers. So just be brave enough to walk through the doorway of this new experience. I think the fates are really stepping in and pushing us all forward when it comes to self-love, when it comes to honoring our mind, our body, and our soul, and blocking anybody that does not reciprocate our energies. So I think it's time to get to know yourself again is kind of what I feel. I think many of us have been feeling very depleted and dissatisfied in very toxic situations, not wanting to release for fear of not knowing what's on the other side. But if you are to fully nourish yourself, your mind, your body, and your soul, you kind of have to cut these negative attachments. It's really time to learn this lesson because you'll likely have valuable insights and knowledge to bring forward as a spiritual teacher of some sort. Many of us are counselors, healers, and teachers. So where are you needing to remain in positive vibration in order to bring more of that energy into your life? I think get rid of anybody that's been depleting you and only choose people that will treat you with dignity and respect moving forward. Because this situation is fraught with deception, lies, secrets, manipulation, and it's really not serving your highest purpose. So get ready to choose to be with people who actually love you, support you, and never make you feel small. So where are you needing to release and let go and allow Spirit to take the lead of your life? Because this is in the divine's hands, and we kind of have to start, you know, serving our own highest mission. So this is definitely a situationship that is serving to teach you something very important when it comes to past life connections, when it comes to restoring a sense of intimacy. And, you know, to figure out where the heck you lost yourself along the way. Somebody here's lost themselves in a very toxic situation and they've not wanted to walk away. They've known it's time to walk away. Maybe they're missing somebody. I'm not sure. But it's kind of time to return to self, to nurture yourself, to love yourself, and to give yourself that breathing room to go through this transformation and this healing process, because everything is all right. Release the need to know an outcome, know when to walk away, and get out of this victimization. Others can only victimize you if you allow yourself to be that victim. So where are you needing to release any energies of victim mentality? Because we always have that choice to take our personal power back, but we have to do it. We have to do it. Nobody else is going to do that for us. We are all loving, giving souls, but we have to not give and give and give and give to the point that we get depleted. And if you're dealing with somebody that's not reciprocating, cut them out. Only deal with people that treat you as an equal. And that's kind of what I've got for a message today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.